That's what we started addressing it, and they're lighting themselves on fire over there, and that's all well and good. But they should do it in a way where they're not telling lies that are easily debunked. Now, just because there seems to be a desire to sort of like have all the things out, I just want to tell one other story, because Jake and I didn't have a tremendous amount of interaction over the years. I've known him since he was on Air America.
What's up, y'all? So we do have, this is still, the roasting of Anna and Cenk. Look, I don't know what's going on with TYT and everything else that's happening over there as far as, it just feels like, it's just, there's no passion anymore over there. I go over, I look for clips, and it just feels like the passion is absolutely gone. And this is Sam and Emma, talking about Anna and Cenk and the Vanguard and everybody. And, things are changing in the political landscape. And people are not really about that, that no passion having corporate type of discussion about what's going on in the world, in the country. I mean, there was a huge protest this weekend, okay? So that's what I mean. Like, you can see the fervor with people, and people aren't trying to have the gaslighting. Anyway, so we're going to get back to the clip. Please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. I don't ask this enough. I think every eye that lands on these videos, we're going to make this channel happen. We're going to make this fetch. This channel is going to be fetch. We're going to make fetch happen. All right, let's get into it.
And I filled in a couple of times, I think, on TYT, 15 years ago or something like that. The one thing that really struck me in the one sort of behind the scenes interaction I had with Cenk was at one point, and I had looked it up when, I don't know when exactly this happened. It was during, I think, the first Trump administration. I could look it up again in the emails. I was invited to a meeting with some of the Google, or I think it was Google, government liaison people.
Scary.
And it was me, Cenk, and two of these people. And they were asking us.
You know what? I feel like I did cover this part, so I'm going to kind of skip it over. We did talk about that. Or maybe I just probably didn't. But let's skip over to Emma. Thank you guys for being patient with me about that.
It's the same guy who thought defund the police was a bad strategy. So, I don't think we need to take his advice.
I wasn't really into defund the police. I'm going to keep it real with you. I actually live in an area where, I live in a city where defunding police is a bad idea. Thank God I'm not in a bad area. But please, I work in the prisons, okay? The prison, the inmate themselves will tell you that they don't fear the cops, bro. They don't. Anyway, let's go ahead and get back into it.
It's on sloganeering, but yeah.
They could turn out to be a Jimmy Dore.
Right.
Or a Dave Rubin.
Right.
Or an Anna Kasparian. Or a Michael Tracy.
Brianna Wu.
Or Brianna Wu.
Who's still on the payroll, I guess, but not Francesca.
Ben
Ben Glee.
Yeah, you know what? Not Brianna. Brianna Wu is just I don't even know. Michael Tracy, sorry guys, y'all gonna have to fall back. Just because he doesn't do it the way you like it, Michael Tracy's been breaking down everything, and he's been right. We're gonna give Michael Tracy a pass here.
I mean, all these things can happen.
Yeah. Right. Honestly, I think you can also see it reflected in the way you treat your employees, right? Like with the efforts to bust the union.
Oh my God, the union busting was so gross.
It was. And even at the time, I received a call from somebody high up in the network asking me not to speak publicly about it. I was young. I kind of have regrets about that I should have spoken up a little bit more publicly, but I was also not making too much money and trying not to rock the boat, but it was a part of the decision that I made, to leave. But it's also, I think, kind of evident in the way that he decided to do this kind of 30-minute monologue criticizing Francesca, who never, there were opportunities for them to hire her full time, to give her benefits, to value her labor. And instead of doing so, they just kept her on as a contractor. She took a check from them, sure. But then to make a whole show out of banning her from the network and doing this video about somebody who has very little power. You are the employer. She is the employee. She's the contractor. And to throw her under the bus like that, especially when her show has like a fraction of their subscriber count, I really do think it speaks to the workplace environment that's becoming more and more evident for people here.
And not only that, we have now documented multiple instances of TYT and Cenk Uygur violating legally binding contracts. Yesterday, we learned from Francesca that Cenk gave her a contract for employment, okay? She was going to then move to Los Angeles for this job, and then 2 weeks later, he contacts her again and is like, hey, I know you signed that legally binding document. Just rocky, murky waters. We're not going to be able to honor that for you. Totally illegal. Totally against the law. Francesca said she had multiple people advise her to sue. Okay, which she would have been able to do well within her rights. But she's such a comrade. She was so concerned about the broader progressive mission. She was like, how is it going to look if I have to sue this progressive news organization right before Bernie Sanders' primary, right in the midst of all of that? It's going to make it so easy for right-wing news to pick it up and slam these guys and make it look like, oh, every progressive news organization is full of scammers. So she chose not to, and she just took the fucking L, which, more power to her. That's an incredibly selfless thing to do for the progressive movement. I wouldn't have fucking done it, dude. I would have wrestled Jake's fucking ass to the ground and gotten my fucking money. Okay? Dead ass. I'm just being real with you. But
I'm glad that he was real about that, because I don't like when people do things and say that they were doing it for virtuous reasons, okay? Now, but yes, Cenk really took the fall for that one about how they, got rid of Francesca. I still know that Anna was behind that 100%. Because Cenk, we could say like, oh, he's a bad businessman and everything, which, he can, look, from what I'm hearing, he's not the greatest, but you could tell. You could feel the vibe, because she was ready to jump on it. She was like, no, it's not right the way she attacked you. No. Like, some stuff like that, I'm sorry. Like, what? This is a business. We cannot have these kind of fights unless we're going to plan a debate. Have a debate. Anna and Fran should have had a debate. That would have been fire. That would have been a lot of content for me. And I still think they should have a debate. But doing it like that, where Anna was just reacting to Fran live, like this isn't, we're not just friends hanging out. There's a lot going on in the world. And for Fran, I will say to think that there was going to be internment camps, because that's what it was over. She's not that far off, okay? Sending people to Gitmo and all that. And when you hear the fine print that they're saying that, well, we could take violent criminals and bring them there too. Look, man, after the Patriot Act, bro, like, I don't understand. Like, after 2020, after the Patriot Act and other such things, nothing is off the table.